Good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to have you on today's webinar. I see some familiar faces, so I want to say hi and good afternoon. We'll start in a few seconds in case if you have to step out, answer a phone. This is a recorded webinar, so all participants will be receiving today's presentation, also the link at the YouTube channel. So strongly encourage you to like and subscribe. Also, if there's any particular questions throughout today's webinar, encourage you to put them in the Q&A. So like that, either myself or Rosalind will be able to answer those questions on your behalf. So we'll go ahead and get started. What is the Miami-Dade Business Navigator Program? It is funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Small Business Administration. It was established in part of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 that uses a community navigator approach to help you, the small business owners. The program is comprised as a lead hub. This is the Florida SBDC at FIU, as a center of as a network of spoke organizations that deploy community advocates to work with small businesses. The focus is placed on businesses owned by veterans, women, as well as socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. Along with the Florida SBDC at FIU, we have 6 great organizations working together at no cost to you. We have Ascendis, branches, the EDC of South Miami-Dade. We have the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, and Prospera and Startup FIU Procurement. So allow me to introduce to you my colleague from the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, Gina Ortella. So Gina, the floor is yours.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Glad to be here on behalf of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I also welcome you to this webinar. The Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce has been around since 1974, advocating on behalf of Black and Brown businesses here in Miami-Dade County. We provide technical assistance in the areas of marketing, access to capital, business planning, and government contracting. And we are, as Jesus says, proud spoke part of the Navigator program. So I will, at the end, if you would like to receive free consulting, feel free to reach out to the chamber.
Thank you, Gina. And also allow me to introduce you, my colleague from Startup FIU Procurement, Clementina Valladares.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Jesus, Gina, Rosaline, and all the attendees. Welcome to this workshop. My name is Clementina Valladares, and as Jesus mentioned, I am a program manager of the Startup FIU local, or known as the Startup FIU Procurement as well. I mean, the name says it all. We are part of FIU. And Startup FIU is FIU Local is a program that helps local small business in the community to grow their companies. How do we do this? We do this through developing strong relationship with other partnership, like the ones that are part of the Business Navigators, all this spoke, SBDC, Business Navigator, and also private institution. We deliver educational tools that help the small business in our community to meet their needs and overcome challenges. What type of tools are these? These are, educational tools through different programming, incubator programs, accelerator programs, boot camp, panels event, networking event. We are currently offering a boot camp that is focused to retailers, to those business that has a package products for retailer or wholesaler. So I will be sharing that information in the chat, as well as sharing the website for Startup FIU Local, where you can learn more about us and you can become more familiar with the different programmings that we offer. Also, I will provide the social media information so that you can follow us, and we always post. We are very active in the social media, and we are always sharing programs that FIU Local offer, as long as the program that our partners offers. Okay. Thank you, welcome, and I'm sure that this workshop is going to be of a great benefit to all of you. So take advantage of everything that we offer, that Navigator SBDC, that all of us offer to you. We work and benefit to our community.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Clementina. And it ties in with today's webinar, like the sales blueprint, but at the same time, working with a business navigator program, it is like your blueprint for success. So at the same time, the program is for businesses located here in Miami-Dade County. But if your business is located in Palm Beach, Broward, Monroe County, we're more than happy to assist you. But if your business is located outside of the Quad County jurisdiction, by all means, send me an email and I'll be more than happy to connect you with your local SBDC or business resource partner. And at the end, this program, it is focused on the 3 key pillars: the consulting, the mentoring, and the trainings as such here in today. And this is a good opportunity for you to connect with us. Yes, you did. Yes, I did see your registration, and we already have the consultant working with you already, so which is fantastic. At the same time, definitely encourage you to like and subscribe once again our YouTube channel, as we have all of our webinars, but at the same time, it enhances that conversation while you're meeting with our business consultants. Definitely follow us on our social media channels: LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. But then at the same time, our website, miamibusinessnavigator.com, as we have a plethora of webinars and workshops. So definitely I encourage you to register to all of them. Knowledge is power. So it's a good opportunity for you to grow and have those tools for your toolbox. So once again, thank you. My name is Jesus Padilla. I am the manager of administrative services here at the Florida SBDC.FIU. I am just like you. I have that entrepreneurial spirit. So I work closely with our marketing consultants and also our startup consultants to have those innovative tips, the aha moments to grow your business. And now it's with great pleasure to introduce to you my co-partner, Rosalind Rice, and she'll briefly introduce herself, and we'll get the show on the way.
Yes. Hi, everyone. It's so great to be with you this afternoon. My name is Rosalind Rice, one of the consultants with the Navigator program. And as we go throughout today's presentation, please just think about not going it alone, but showing up in a consulting session with one of our phenomenal consultants. It's nice to be with you, and I look forward to us navigating through this presentation today together.
Yep. Thank you, Rosalind. And then Rosalind, what's your business background in regards tying in from today's conversation? We want to be more engaging, so definitely questions through the chat, through the Q&A, so that we're able to have some aha moments through today's webinar. So Rosalind, how about your experience?
Yeah, so my experience is I spent 25 years in retail at a corporate level. So I really focus on sales strategy, marketing strategy with my consultants, business operation. Just if they're feeling stuck in something in their business, that's where we really have some in-depth creative conversations. But the retail part, if you have a product that you're selling, that is definitely a sweet spot for me.
Yeah, and at the same time, it comes hand in hand with the sales and marketing, having a great strategy and branding, because I know that we have some familiar faces that are branding experts. So definitely, it's a 2-for-1. I see Michelle Cava, one of our business consultants, so I want to give her a shameless shout out as well. So at the same time, here are the 4 key objectives that we'll be discussing today. It is the importance of that sales plan, how to create one for your business. At the same time, what are the different sales strategies that will work for your business? No two businesses are the same, no two industries are the same. So it's finding those key marketing techniques to improve your sales. It's the customer's touch points, the customer's journey. And last but not least, it's those guidelines to follow when hiring those effective sales employees. With the sales planning, it is a critical tool in setting your goals and identifying where and how you should work to generate those revenues. That is one of the most instrumental aspects in identifying those potential clients, customers, establishing those goals that you have. It could be within a 5-year goal, but in order to tackle those 5 years, let's grow organically and let's tackle what we can accomplish on a monthly and a yearly basis to lay the groundwork. But at the same time, those marketing tactics that you will use, the unorthodox methods, but at the same time, the traditional methods as well, so you could accomplish those goals. And then by doing so, this is where you're able to identify those key potential customers by defining your target audience, setting those realistic goals for. At the same time, don't just pick numbers out of the sky. Make sure that they're attainable objectives. One of the key challenges that when we work with clients is I want to generate $1 million. I want to have 50,000 clients within 1 year. And if it's a wild business, absolutely you'll get it. But at the same time, you want to set realistic expectations. And Rosalind, with you, in terms of identifying those potential customers,
Yes.
what are some tips and tricks how to do that research?
Yeah. So I think a lot of times we focus on who is going to be the end user of my product. And that's important to really have a deep dive understanding of who the person is that you think is going to be buying your product. In the beginning, if you are just starting up, it's going to be very aspirational. You're thinking about, it's this type of woman, this type of man, this type of individual, this is where they're working. You're thinking about all the different ways in which they show up in the world, which is going to help you communicate more effective. But I want you to also think about people who are influencing those decisions. So for instance, if you are selling you're a florist and you're selling flowers, there can be obviously the in-person. Let's say if you're selling flowers for a wedding, you're thinking about the bride and the groom that are going to purchase the flowers. But I also want you to think about the event planner that will have an influence on who that bride and groom chooses. So I think it's important for us to think about the whole ecosystem, and that's what a great consultant is with Navigator will be able to help you with, not just the end user, but those that will be influencing them, but then also those that will be sabotaging. So there's always going to be someone throwing up a little shade like, hey, do you really need to buy that? Is this the time that you need to buy it? We can come together with a strategy on how do you mitigate that resistance, and then how do you also allow a referral partner to be a part of your kind of community so that people are referring business to your organization.
Okay. And then by having those ideal potential customers, then that's how you're able to determine those sales tactics based on the branding, the messaging, in like what's the customer journey and those touch points to be effective. But at the same time, focus on those targeted customers. Where is the best fishing pond for you? So that you're not allocating all your resources in one area, that you're not getting that return on investment, those type of clients for you. But at the same time, you're able to break down those focused targeted customers for primary and secondary target customers. So a perfect example, my brother is having a daughter. So I'm having a niece. So I'm going to be the co-uncle. So pretty much I am a secondary target customer of buying baby clothes. But now as a small business trying to target 2 different customers, they're going to target more heavily on me because they know for a fact that family will be buying more gifts and more toys, more clothes for the baby as opposed to the actual parents. So if I have a pleasant experience with that relationship, they got me hooked when it's my time to have a family. So that is a good way to tailor those approach based on those customer journeys. And then at the same time, establishing those flexible schedules. It's at the end of the day, you want to grow organically, you don't rush it, but at the same time, be realistic. Instead of going for $1 million in sales, let's go for 100,000. Then next year, let's double it for 350. And like that, by 3 years, you could definitely accomplish those goals. Because it's just like building a house. You don't want to rush building a house because if not, it's going to cave in. You want to have a good foundation with the 4 key walls. And Rosalind, do you want to chime in with any of these key components?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way that you explain that. I would say as far as a flexible schedule, if you're starting to think about how much money you need, how much access to capital, obviously we heard Gina talk about all the different resources that MDCC helps with within the Navigator ecosystem to be able to provide access to capital. But it's important for you to think about not just what you need to get started, but I really want you to look at those first 3 months as you're building a sales plan. Those first 3 months, you're going to most likely be in a loss, if not beyond, right? So you want to understand what it is that you need not only to get started, but then float until you get to that break-even point, especially if you're starting with employees. So let's say you're opening up a restaurant, you need to also have a part of your funding those 3 critical months of operations, because most likely you will not be bringing in as much revenue as you do as people discover you and start to know more about your business. So remain flexible.
And at the same time, one key point under the flexible schedule is adapt as needed.
Yes.
Because look what happened based on your sales plans in 2019. Let's get ready for 2020. And then you have to pivot. And those sales strategies were not effective in case if you're B2B or B2C. So being adaptable and pivoting is a crucial aspect. And that's one of the key benefits of a small business is that you're able to go where the marketplace is telling you. So think of it as a small boat navigating, doing a 3-point turn through a canal is easy to turn to the marketplace as opposed to cruise ship as a big business. It's pretty difficult for them to navigate. Making that turn. So by having that adaptable and the tolerance of uncertainty definitely helps you out to hit your goals at a realistic point of view. And this is one of the best avenues for you to be organized and have those sales activities, those opportunities, those leads, is having an effective CRM, a customer relationship management system. It's become an industry standard for maintaining that competitive advantage.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the rise of social media and internet tools, CRMs, systems, and services can be created, operated, and outsourced for little and no cost. So it leads more profitability and customer loyalty.
Yes.
So it could be different, like I myself, like I'm an entrepreneur just like you. I have a successful e-commerce business. So I have an Excel spreadsheet of everyone who has bought from me. From every year. At the end of each year, I send them a gift card. Thank you for buying from me. Who do you know that could definitely benefit from buying from me? But at the same time, hey, it's been a while. We haven't made any transactions. I'll give you 10% discount for a future purchase. And that's how I'm able to build that loyalty and that relationship. And then along having effective the 4 P's of marketing. It is the product, the price. So in this case, I will talk about specifying those specific products to the different areas, the product placement, understand what your customer wants. Just like how it is with a 7-Eleven, the founder of 7-Eleven is give the customers when, where, and what they want by fully understanding that marketplace. Here in the United States, 7-Eleven is like a one-stop cookie mart, a gas station. But Indonesia is a trending hotspot where young people hang out, surf the web. In Taiwan, it's a photocopy to service your bicycle. So that's how they're able to be successful in 3 different countries while providing different products at the same time. So that right there is a good understanding how to be successful, not only within globally, but now you could look locally. Perhaps the products and services that you're providing in Doral might be different from Miami Beach as opposed to Homestead. And the pricing, it's it's critical factor when you have a competition in the same market. So have the Goldilocks approach. If you price yourself too high, you're losing a good market share of the price of the customers. But if you price it too low, it is what's the perception of the quality of the brand. So you need to have that Goldilocks approach. Rosalind, do you have any comments with these?
Yeah, definitely with the product. I think it's important. Many times business owners will go in and say, hey, this is what I want to push out into the marketplace. It's important for you to really do your research, work with a consultant, and understand where are their gaps? Where is there kind of that sliver of area, that white space opportunity, I like to say, where it's nothing in the market, or maybe it's in your local community that you cannot find it. Because if you just start trying to duplicate what someone else has done, that's not going to be true to what the customers are actually asking for. So when it comes to the product, one thing I walk my retail product clients through that are selling a tangible product, let's do a style out. Many times we're just producing products, we're buying from suppliers, but if there's a product that's only sold 1%, why are we still continuing to supply it and produce it? Let's get a good price on it. Let's get it out of our inventory. Let's sell it at a great rate. So that we're able to bring in some new and some fresh. So the important part of the 4 Ps.
Yep. And then by having that product and the price, now that's where you're able to have those effective promotions. What are useful for your product, coupons, discounts, but at the same time, it's offer samples, get that customer feedback. And then that's where you're able to provide the place and where does your target market looks to buy your product.
Yeah.
So everything comes in together. Think of it like the 4 walls of a house. These are the 4 walls of marketing that you cannot have one without the other. Some of the research methods, there's two different methods. There's primary and secondary. The primary is gathering information directly from your customers. Listen and get their feedbacks, surveys, focus groups, secret shoppers. Same time, it could be you could done by yourself, like a simple, how was your experience? Do you have a hard time navigating through the website? How was everything in the store? Like, is there any products that you would like for us to carry? By having those conversations, you're able to provide more leads, but at the same time, more relationship building as well. Do you want to chime in, Rosalind? Or we're good with this one?
We're good with this one.
Okay. Then with secondary, this is where we're able to assist you. The Florida SBDC at FIU, along with the Navigator programs, as giving you the necessary research tools, those databases like the Census Bureau, the Federal Reserve, the Department of Labor, all these data points from the government agencies, trade groups, associations. It is overwhelming. But with our team and our consultants, we'll be able to assist you to have that eye, as this is what you need to look for, by making sure that you're making the right business decisions in growing your business to promote your products and services in that area. So for example, I want to open up a daycare center in Sunrise. Perfect. But the demographics, it's 55 and older communities. There's no children. There's no young families with children. So in my eyes, I have no competition. I'm the best one, but there's no demand for that. As opposed to if you do it in Doral, yeah, there is a young families, there's children, but then what is the full demographic of that marketplace? How many competitors are there that are the heavy players, but also within the radius that you would like to cater to? Within the 3-mile radius, how many daycare centers are there? Then that's where to do the secondary research of the competitive analysis based on the any research touch points, trends that they're doing, that you could definitely make that those studies more effective.
Yeah. That's good. And when you're doing your research, it's not a one and done. You're constantly doing research on your target audience. And you want to make sure that you add, I like to tell my clients, add a sticky fact in your elevator pitch. So for instance, if you are manufacturing wigs, all right, what's the sticky fact behind that? The sticky fact is 50% of women deal with hair loss. When I hear that, it's like, wow, somebody in the audience is going to be able to relate to that. So if I start with, because 50% of people deal with hair loss, I am now manufacturing these customized wigs to save time, make your research a part of your elevator pitch. And I see we have Michelle on stage. Yay!
Yes. You see, like it is like, I throw the Batman signal and Michelle showed up, At the same time, this is where you're able to start researching your target, based on, there's different avenues how to start researching your target market, but these are some of the common points in doing that research via the internet, having those informal conversations within your neighborhood, your colleagues, even folks in the industry. And this is where you're able to have the customer needs, understand what they're lacking, what they need, that their needs are not being satisfied, and they have the willingness and also the resources to buy. And lastly, any special programs that are out there that you're able to target those demographics that we like to cater to. With the internet research, it's the market trends, the competitors, those marketing avenues. But at the same time, working with our consultants, we're able to have, like, now that Michelle's on board, those buyer personas, sophisticated Sophias, and obviously, athletic errands, So having those marketing trends, you're able to see that customer behaviors and their branding preferences. Having those informal conversations, you could have like blog posts, having more engaging through your social media channels. But then at the same time, this is a good opportunity for you right here in today's webinar. Just talk with other entrepreneurs. What are some sales strategies that they have used that haven't worked, and vice versa. This is about networking and creating an effective ecosystem to create this local impact in the community. And once again, in terms of the customer needs, it's not about the price, but what's their service like? What's your value proposition? What's the declaration that you're able to stand out amongst your competitors? And we'll be talking a little bit more in depth later on of your elevator pitch, along with the delivery options. If someone has to wait 2 weeks to get your product, as opposed someone from a competitor B is able to give it to you in 15 minutes, obviously they will go for 15 minutes, just like ordering pizza. Will you wait, 2 days for a pizza to arrive, or within the hour? So having different understandings based on what the customer needs, how you're able to allocate, and that could be one of your sales pitches. And then along with the special programs, it's meet with us, meet with the SBDC, any resource partners, or business resources that can provide the know-hows, those introductions, what initiatives are out there, by offering those purchases as well. Rosalind, do you have any points, or even Michelle?
Yeah, I wanted Michelle to talk about how important it is to identify customer needs.
Yes, you read my mind, Rosalind. So I actually even want to go a little step back. It's so important as a business owner to be fanatical about your numbers, because your numbers are going to really tell a story. It's going to basically guide you towards that target client that is going to be your repeat client, your super fan that's going to go out there and advocate for your business and bring more clients to you. The most successful businesses are the ones that always keep their clients at the forefront of their business, and they grow with their clients. They understand their behaviors, their pain points, their challenges, and the business shows up in a way that solves for those challenges for that customer, making that customer understand that there's nowhere else to go but to purchase products and services from that business.
And we just talked about the elevator pitch. It's the concise summary that is a minute or less of your key elements, who you are, what you do, how it benefits that customer, and the relevancy. Conclude with the question by offering a meeting, an online presentation. Once again, it's that lasting impression in a limited amount of time. Exchange
Mhm.
business cards, continue that conversation. Because at the end of the day, you never know what doors will lead to you.
Mhm.
And at the same time, it's like, oh, it's oftentimes a good example, like from what I've seen from some of our clients, doing business with the municipalities, the government agencies, it's they have their name at yahoo.com. First impressions is like they would like to have the domain of in the email. Instead, so like that, it's okay, like how serious are you? How relevant are you within the business? So those are like small first impressions that will make a difference from these agencies buying from you.
Absolutely. I just have to chime in here. I was working with a client today on an elevator pitch. She's a massage therapist trying to get into a cancer center to provide her service. And as we were going through the pitch, it was great. She was telling me what she does and her value. The last thing that she forgot was the ask. What are you asking the person to do? Do you want them to, look at your website? Do you want them to, have you as a referral partner? Make sure that there is an ask there, that you're not just telling someone about what you do, but what do you need them to do, and vice versa, that reciprocity. What can you do for them? Very important.
Yeah, it's oftentimes it's not like we are the best, or like, for example, like the Florida SBDC at FIU was awarded the 2023 National SBDC of the Year. But the ask is, how can we help your business grow?
Yes.
That's my elevator pitch. Or you need assistance with marketing. Now what? What else do you need assistance? Do you need capital? Do you need operations, roadmap, to have that dialogue and that conversation moving forward? So without selling, let the customers talk about themselves. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So having that conversation, you're able to engage with them based on their experiences, but at the same time, use humor, have fun, be personalized instead of being a robot, because everyone loves that human connection.
Yeah.
And Michelle, with you, with the branding and strategies, what are some good ways of have these messages conveying?
So the best thing to do is, again, to know the pain points of your ideal customer, their challenges, and have a crafted message ready that speaks to how you solve those pain points and challenges. And to Jesus's point, have some prompting questions that really require you to listen and allows your client to explain exactly what they're looking for. And that way you can end the conversation with exactly how you solve for those problems. Exactly how Rosalind mentioned, have an ask. For example, before getting off a call with a client, ask them when would be a great time to follow up with them, right? Or give them clear instructions on what the next steps would be to continue working with you as a service provider.
Mhm.
And then this where you're able to apply the 80-20 rule. It's those principles that are the significant portion of the results come from a small portion of those customers. Build likability, discuss those interests, assistance, encourage that customer interaction, and at the same time, provide that expertise, demonstrate your knowledge that you're able to solve those issues. A good opportunity for you, it's marketing yourself, building that brand of yours. In LinkedIn, I have like a LinkedIn 300 workout. It is have 100% in your LinkedIn profile, have connect with 100 connections within the industry and the 100 organizations in the industry. But at the same time, that's where you're able to engage, provide your knowledge, your tips, And that's where you're able to build that credibility and personal brands of that you know what you're talking about with that engagement. Rosalind, and also with you, Michelle. So how you're able to encourage that customer interaction, like any tips from your personal experience as an entrepreneur, or also within words of wisdom within your clients?
Well, I would say definitely when that sell without selling, the 80-20 rule. It is important when you are on social media that you're not trying to sell something 100% of the time. The 80-20 is definitely works. 80% of the time you're giving something away. You're giving information away. You're giving tips away. If you are in skincare, you're giving away how do you care for your skin? How do you care for your skin in the heat? How do you care for your skin after a facial? And then 20% of the time you're saying, hey, this is a new product. This is a new service. Come book an appointment. So that 80-20 rule, you're not constantly selling all the time, but you want to make sure that every single time you're posting on social media, that there is a strong call to action. What do you want the potential client to do? Do you want them to buy now? Do you want them to share the post? Do you want them to visit your website? Do you want them to, if you're a nonprofit, do you want them to donate now? Always a strong call to action, because we'll just post and we won't tell the client what we want them to do.
And Michelle?
Completely agree with Rosalind. So think about 4 pillars of your ideal client, 4 pillars of their life where you can probably touch with your business. And then show up as a thought leader versus selling, right? So to Rosalind's point, show up giving some freebies, even with your website, have some type of lead magnet there where you're just not just collecting their email to like bombard them with emails, but you're giving them a little slice of information that could be beneficial to them. And also in anything that you post, any emails that you send out, make sure that it's shareable. It's shareable content that they'll want to share with their network, and their network will want to share with their network.
Yeah. And you see, like right here is a perfect example. In the chat, I am selling without selling in terms of the call to action. Everything, and if you want today's recorded presentation, it's on our YouTube channel, but feel free to like and subscribe. That right there is our sales pitch.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I'm practicing what I'm preaching.
Yeah.
At the same time, focus on those customer benefits and choices. Create that positive, enjoyable experience, just like how it is in life, because everyone is a customer, a consumer for anything in terms of the research phase, the purchasing phase, even the post-purchase phase. If it's a bad experience, it's the power of 10. They will talk about it to everyone, even those that are looking for recommendations. But if they have a great time, you got them hooked, and at the same time, they'll be definitely referring other folks. Pleasant experience at this restaurant. This is where I got engaged. Those memorable moments, and engage with customers, and that's how you build those everlasting relationships. So these are some key areas for you to sell without selling. Okay. Websites and email. This is one area that we actually have a webinar on the 24th, if I'm not mistaken, of email marketing 101. Our business consultant, Emily De Armas, will be presenting. So this is a good opportunity for you to start working together, how to have an effective website, and also the email in terms of what you need to discuss. So in the website guidelines, choose a memorable and easy email address. Display the name, the logo, brief description of your homepage. Same time, offer ensure easy navigation. Because if it's a bad experience, if it's hard to manage, you just lost that customer. Same time, get their emails. That's one opportunity for you to, to get the marketing tools, but at the same time, develop an email that is cost effective and efficient tool for your social media arsenal.
And I
yeah,
just want
go
to
ahead.
add, and make sure you segment your customers, segment that database properly. Because how you speak to an existing client is not how you're going to speak to a prospect that you just got off the phone with, and they're still deciding on whether they want to purchase your product or service. And it's also different how you may speak to a strategic partner. So it's really important that you manage your database as quickly as possible. So that way, when you are creating emails, you're segmenting them and speaking to the right audience in the right tone.
Yeah, it's so I can send an email, yo, are you gonna buy from me or what? I can't do that?
No.
Okay. So
No, I need you to nurture me. I need you to romance me a little
Yeah,
bit into
gotcha.
purchasing your product.
Gotcha. No, and at the same time, it's that's you're able to do personalization, like it could be during the holidays or even birthdays. So right there, like how it is, like even on social media, it's like, here's some things you could get for your birthday. And that's one great to use effective websites and effective email marketing. Even though you're not there on a consistent basis, but hey, it's my birthday, let me enjoy it. It's a better experience.
Exactly.
And this is where you're able to start having those sales calls, the preparation, how to do it. Reaching those cold calls, is reaching out towards those potential customers randomly. These targeted cold calls to specific business types offer better results. For example, I'm going personal right now. I used to work in the athletics department. So I would have a list of former buyers who buy individual games. So I would personally call them and say, how was your experience? I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. If it was ugly, how can we make a memorable moment? We can't fix the past. No, we can't repeat the past, but now let's fix the future. So how can I sell you season tickets? And long story short, I had a good success rate, and I even gave them some free tickets on my account, so they could have a better, memorable experience, rectify those issues, and that's how you build those relationships in the long term. But at the same time, marketing to those existing customers is easier, because they already know you. So with their eyes closed, they already know what's going to be their experience, the services, and the quality that they'll be getting. And as we've been talking about it all along, tailoring those marketing messages to fulfill their needs and interests. Rosalind, with you, what are some key points for developing like a sales call? Like,
Yeah.
it has to be, can the person be energetic or it has to be monotonous? How would you?
Yeah, it's interesting. I would say, one of the personal things that I do, I stand up during sales calls because I think it just increases your energy. You can immediately tell on the phone if someone is smiling or not smiling. So when you are in a positive space, it is definitely more contagious and people can feel that excitement. Every time I get one of these webinars, people are like, oh my goodness, you're so excited. People can feel that, right? Even if we're not in a physical room together, they can feel that. So one, get your energy up. If you are dragging by the end of the day, don't book your sales calls at the end of the day. Do it in the morning when you have more energy. So understand that. I do want to say to Fabiola, like we saw your comment, and you're right. It is overwhelming when you're thinking about all of the blueprint and all of the many parts, but you're not alone. Right. So I just want to normalize that feeling that you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I need help. We are here to help you. A consultant will be reaching out to you. So don't you worry. You just keep those listening ears on, and you work on one thing at a time. That's what's most important. One thing. You might say, hey, I need to write my sales script. Write it out. If you're going to be on a phone call with someone, write out what you're going to say. Make sure that it's focused on them as your target customer. Don't focus on, this is what I do. This is how I focus on the consumer, the prospective consumer.
And it's all about preparation.
Yeah.
Create a simple and effective script for sales calls, but at the same time, be personalized. Because if you're going based on the script and the script goes off the rails and the salesperson is not prepared for that, that's how you lose a customer. So be adaptable and be personalized, as these are several instances or several scenarios where you could lead the conversation. And if it goes off the rails, how to bring it back towards that conversation. Have a professional greeting, introduce yourself. At the same time, express gratitude. What's the purpose of the call? Afterwards, and do a follow-up call, follow-up email. Is there any additional information that I can provide you right now? And be consistent and provide the necessary support for the new salespersons. Then by having those effectiveness, this is where you're able to gather those valuable data points, the customer feedback, the coded coupons, which I will give a great example in a few seconds, website tracking, but at the same time, having that CRM, it's crucial to assess their impact on the sales. Understand, like what I mentioned earlier, that no two businesses are the same. So have a good understanding which approach works best for you. I had a client of ours that she just opened up an ice cream shop. And it was a busy street, but there was no parking. So the accessibility, the foot traffic was, like she was depending on the foot traffic of a high-rise building that was right behind her ice cream shop. So she knew that no one was going to be driving to go to her spot because lack of parking, but perhaps within the neighborhood, she could definitely get, that's where bulk of her sales are going to be. So what we did was we started doing coded coupons, offer 5% discounts or 10% discounts. Hey, I am in your neighborhood. I want to introduce you to your new neighbors. Here's a 10% coupon. So we coded 4 different colors of coupons. So building 1 had the blue, building 2 had the green, building 3 had red, building 4 had yellow. So that she's able to have a good demographic and good feedback based on which coupons worked best based on the customers that came back using those coupons. So building 1 was the best. So this is going to be my primary market because this is what they purchased. And she had an idea of the tickets that they purchased. So everyone wanted, they enjoyed the cookies and cream as opposed to key lime pie. So these were my best sellers. By having those results in hand, that's how you're able to start marketing what your customers are dictating without them telling you what they're seeking. So it's a good opportunity for you, like I said, be unorthodox, but at the same time, be unorthodox, but at the same time, organized and implement what you just got as those results. Because if you have all these feedback and all these results and you do nothing, then, it's crucial information that you're going to waste. Because those information might not be relevant within the next year. Because remember, the marketplace changes one day to the next. And Michelle, for you with the branding and the strategies, are there like any other input that you could provide?
Yeah, so in order for your marketing to really hit and your sales tactics to land, you need a really well-crafted message. We keep talking about knowing your target client, but that truly is the heart of your business. And once you know your target client, then you know what products you want to offer them. You know exactly how they are used to receiving coupons or offers based on their behaviors. So when it comes to branding and sales, it works in lockstep. Because it really all starts from knowing your customer. And once you know them, then you can assign the appropriate KPIs depending on what your marketing strategy is and what your sales strategy is.
And then, based on the customer feedback, how do you hear about us? Keep the record responses to identify those successful marketing strategies. But then at the same time is what we talked about, the coded coupons as our case study from one of our clients. It's enabling to track their effectiveness basis on those coupons or those codes. But then on the website tracking, it offers those special codes to track the customer referrals from your site based on where's their journey going from once they once they enter towards when they purchase. And then the CRM, it's those reports to analyze their behaviors, the demographics, and any valuable insight that's effective for your business. Here's some simple do's and don'ts. Even though it's overwhelming, selling, it's scary, it's intimidating, but at the same time, it's a human connection. It's a personalization. Be clear, be concise, plain language. If you start using jargons, no one might not have that language. Deliver those convincing, informative, brief presentations. Answer questions directly and honestly instead of guessing or because at the same time, that's how you lose credibility. And improve and analyze those failed sales efforts. What worked and what didn't work. And these are just like how Bob Ross always says, there's no mistakes, just happy accidents. It's learning experiences. And use humor. Everyone likes to laugh every so often. So, but by having it professional, you're able to avoid those high pressure tactics and it builds that relationship across the board.
Yeah.
But don't judge based on their appearances, assumptions. Understand your and understand and address your customers' actual needs. And don't forget to follow up with customers, confirming meetings and showing their appreciation.
Yeah.
It's you want to be respectful with their time. Rosalind, Michelle, any tips?
Yeah, selling is it's my sweet spot. I love selling. I think if you're selling the right product to the right person at the right time, it makes a huge difference. Sometimes we're just selling the wrong product, or sometimes we're selling it at the wrong time. But when you're selling it at the right time to the right people, I mean, I just look at our soccer team here in Miami, right? They were selling like very minimal soccer tickets. They bring in one celebrity soccer player, and it has caused pandemonium in the best of ways. So if you're selling the right product to the right person at the right time, it makes a huge difference. But at the end of the day, rejection is a part of the sales process. We will all feel rejection. Someone will say no to our product or our service. That is okay. It leaves a clue to you finally getting someone to say yes. So don't be afraid of someone saying no. It's the first step towards a negotiation. So.
And also, perhaps that person or that lead that said no, they weren't ready at that time.
Yeah.
But perhaps they might be ready 6 months down the road. So it's not like you go your way, they go away. No, just, hi, I'm still here. How can I help you? Like a perfect example. Every quarter, I send an email to all of our clients I've ever worked with. How is your business? We haven't seen you. How can we assist you? And before you know, it's like, hey, I forgot, life, work, new clients. My business has grown. I've been busy, but this is where my business is right now. And I need some additional marketing, access, capital, business planning. It's perfect. That's not a problem. Allow me to connect you with this consultant. And one of my sales tips that I provide is, I wouldn't sell you anything if I wouldn't buy it. That's what that's my mantra when I'm selling my items, my products, because that's how I build that trust. While you're hiring those sales employees, there's various focal points, and one of them is these guidelines. Be realistic. Understand that they may not have the same the salesperson might not have the same level of commitment or passion of your products and services that you do, but at the same time, set those achievable goals and provide those necessary tools for them to succeed. Don't hog all the large accounts. Introduce some, offer transition period if needed, so that the new salesperson could start building that rapport with the large accounts. And check in and do not compare their performances to others, but monitor and provide the necessary support for your salesperson to be successful and be confident, and so that they'll be able to achieve their metrics. Rosalind, with you, in terms of the sales employees, is there like any terminologies or any certifications or any resources that you could provide to our small business owners for sales?
Yeah, definitely. When you start adding employees into the assortment, and as we getting ready to go into holiday, that a lot of seasonal staffing will happen. It's important to talk with a HR consultant, because you want to make sure that you're covered all of your bases. There's a lot of new laws that are here in the state of Florida that have taken impact July 1st. So you want to make sure that you're going through the process the right way. And then also from a legal perspective, you want to make sure that you have an employee handbook, that you have an onboarding process. So again, consultants here at the Navigator program will be able to help you with that process.
Yeah.
And I would add, at a basic level, like start recording the things that you do and create like a resource center, whether it's in YouTube, which is free to upload videos and a list, but try to record as much as possible the things that you do, so that way you can reduce the amount of time in terms of training, especially if you're a small business and you don't have a lot of time or resources. I think it's the best route with having limited resources.
So as a final recap, these sales fundamentals aim to help you establish those effective strategies. But at the same time, it's the importance of creating that sales plan, those goals, utilizing the sales and marketing tactics. At the same time, which is the best sales strategies for you, as we have explored various strategies, and the significance of having a clear, compelling presentation, and along with the importance of following up, and the guidelines necessary for your sales employees to succeed, because at the end of the day, if they succeed, your business will succeed as well. And then without further ado, I'm going to open up the floor for any questions, comments, concerns, anything. We're here to assist you. But then at the same time, if you're interested to meet with our business consultants, with Michelle, with Rosalind, with Tina, with Gina, don't hesitate. We have a team of 20 consultants available at your disposal. Once again, it's no cost and confidential for you. So feel free to register. We have multiple workshops going on pretty much throughout the entire summer and for the rest of the year. So we're looking forward to working with you any way we can. So if there's any questions, encourage you to put them in the Q&A, and I'll be more than happy to moderate them for you. And as everyone is typing up their questions, Rosalind, what is like a final thought or key takeaway on your side?
Yeah, the biggest takeaway is understand that it doesn't happen overnight. We often go in thinking, having this expectation that we're going to build it and they're going to come. That is not how it happens. It needs to be a well thought out process. But that is why Navigator consultants are here to help you accelerate that success in your business. And we have so many success stories. We can help you. I promise. There's a way that we are able to help you.
Okay. Michelle, how about you?
Completely. I would say think about what your end goal is and then just reverse engineer your business so that you meet that goal. But listen, building a business is very isolating and it can sometimes feel very lonely. And we know what we don't know. So that's what's beautiful about this Business Navigator program, is that you have business consultants like myself and Rosalind and many others that can basically guide you, hold your hand so that you can achieve the goals that you have set forth for yourself.
All right. So let me see if there's any questions. It was very helpful. Thank you. I got a direct message. They love the passion that both of you have.
Oh,
so, and you told me to
you.
tone down the cheesiness jokes on my side. So but it was really helpful. They enjoyed it. And then yeah, so definitely it was very informative. If my recommendation is put in the chat, and like that I'll be able to to moderate on your behalf. And also, like I said, this is a recorded webinar, so all participants will be receiving today's presentation, the link, our YouTube channel. But then at the same time, we have multiple workshops going on now until the end of the year. But pretty much for the summer, we have a webinar almost every day, summer small business campaign. So like that, it helps you to go back and, like back to school basics. So having you the necessary tools to start accomplishing and start implementing some of your goals for 2024. Let's start it now. So it'll be very beneficial. And yes, I will be emailing all the participants the copy of today's recording and also the presentation as well. Okay. Yes, how do I find a mentor? It's easy. You could definitely click on the link to register for consultation. And also, you could scan the QR code. So like that, we'll have one of our business consultants to contact you and schedule a meeting with you. Yes, my colleague Gabby, which she is my boss, she definitely put it on the chat right now. Okay, so I want to thank you, Rosalind. I want to thank you, Michelle. I want to thank Gina and Tina for your participation. Also, obviously, we could not done this without Gabby, so thank you, Gabby, as she was the behind the scenes. But at the same time, I want to thank you, or today's participants, because all of this is for you. And like I said, if there's any topics, any information of that we're not providing to small businesses, just give us a call, shoot us an email, and we could definitely create a presentation because we want to provide as many resources and information to the entire community. So I want to thank you all once again, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the next webinar, and have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care.